6:03 on Wednesday, January 22nd. We're at 11 degrees. Another very cold day. Highs today only in the low 20s. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
And I'm John Aaron. The top story we're following this hour, a number of school districts across the region are delaying their start times due to this morning's frigid temperatures. In Virginia, Stafford, Fairfax, Loudoun, and Arlington County schools are opening 2 hours late. In Maryland, Montgomery County Public Schools will open 2 hours late today and already for tomorrow. Prince George's, Howard, and St. Mary's County schools are also on a 2-hour delay today. A cold weather advisory remains in effect until 11 a.m. Here's 7 News First Alert meteorologist Brian Vandegraff.
Today, the third and final of the most intense cold. Not to say it's going to be a big-time warming trend by tomorrow, but we're going to start to see temperatures moderate, that is for sure. Still, today, be prepared for feels-like numbers in the single digits and teens. Bundle up, layer up. Even tomorrow morning, the same situation. But by afternoon tomorrow and into the latter half of the week, temperatures will finally crest the freezing mark. We could even be in the 40s by the weekend.
And you can always check school changes at WTOP.com.
President Trump is considering pardons for 2 D.C. police officers. One was convicted of murder, the other for trying to help cover it up. WTOP's Luke Lukert with more.
Though appealing the verdict, both Officer Terrence Sutton and Lieutenant Andrew Zabaski were sentenced to time in prison. Now, they may not have to go. The D.C. Police Union says they are working with President Donald Trump to pardon the 2. The president from the Oval Office.
We're looking at that in order to give them we got to give them a break.
Sutton was convicted of second-degree murder of 20-year-old Karan Hilton Brown. He and Zabaski were also convicted of conspiracy and obstruction in trying to cover up the death. Hilton Brown was killed on a scooter after exiting an alley and getting hit by a car. The 2 officers had been pursuing him for several blocks in the Brightwood neighborhood for not wearing a helmet and driving on the sidewalk. D.C. police are not allowed to pursue a vehicle if the only reason is to make a traffic stop. The D.C. Police Union in a statement says they are confident that a review of these cases will reveal the truth. Luke Lukert, WTOP News.
Meanwhile, several more accused Capitol rioters have been released from D.C.'s jail. WTOP's Mike Murillo was there.
Jonathan Pollock of Florida walked out of the jail into the blistering cold and was greeted by supporters who had been waiting outside for hours for this moment. He faced numerous charges, including assaulting police officers on January the 6th. Prosecutors claiming he pulled an officer downstairs and assaulted another with a shield. He pleaded not guilty to the charges before his pardon.
And on January 6th, we stood for the right that we had a right to vote, and we had the right to see where those votes went.
Also released Jacob Lang of New York, who's accused of hitting an officer with a bat. He had been jailed since 2021.
We stood up against a stolen election. We will be vindicated in the pages of history as patriots and freedom fighters, as peaceful men and women that were first attacked and then defended.
To the president, he says.
We love you, President Trump. You're a good man.
At D.C. jail, Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Now, President Trump's executive order requiring most federal workers to get back to the office in person full-time will likely lead to legal challenges from unions. It could also lead to a wave of retirements. WTOP's Nick Iannelli takes a look.
Nearly 30% of federal employees are unionized, and many are covered by bargaining deals that allow for remote work or hybrid arrangements.
The president doesn't have the authority, despite some rhetoric about breaking the unions, as the old saying would go.
Which means the Trump administration will have to wait for those agreements to expire or try to renegotiate them. Another thing to watch, Terry Clower, director of the Center for Regional Analysis at George Mason University, says as much as 30% of the federal workforce is eligible to retire.
Some of them might choose that option,
deciding to leave their job instead of fighting traffic to get into the office.
If you're having to do that every day, it may be that other jobs look more attractive than the federal workers.
Nick Iannelli, WTOP News.